Men tried. We tried, with all the vigor and misplaced optimism our species can muster. We showed up, we did the heavy lifting, we made the jokes nobody laughed at, we shouldered the responsibilities, we opened doors, and we endured the endless lectures on how toxic our very existence was. And for what? To find that the world we once inhabited has been meticulously redesigned to ensure we are at best tolerated and at worst irrelevant. I remember a time when dialogue was possible. Conversations between men and women weren't always wars. They were sometimes minor skirmishes at worst, opportunities to exchange perspectives. But now any attempt at dialogue is immediately framed as aggression, as entitlement, as evidence that one suffers from some unspeakable affliction of privilege. Men speak. Women respond with cold, not so impenetrable logic, or with a fierce, not so righteous indignation that makes you wonder if the Geneva Conventions ever considered emotional warfare. And then men stop speaking, because why speak when your words are guaranteed to bounce off the impenetrable armor of moral superiority? So we retreated, not in shame, but in something closer to survival. We retreated into the quieter corners of our lives, into our hobbies, our small communities, the niches of existence where we can still feel a flicker of autonomy. The battlefield is everywhere else. Feminism, social justice, woke Marxist ideology, whatever you want to call it, has marched relentlessly through the institutions, the media, the corporations, the education system, turning every interaction into a minefield. And the men? Well, we figured. Freedom feels nice. It feels much nicer than constant engagement in a fight that we are expected to lose, no matter the effort, no matter the sacrifice. And so here we are, tinkering with hobbies that don't care about gender quotas, exchanging sarcastic jokes that nobody hears outside of our tightly knit circle. The retreat is total. No dialogue remains. No compromise is possible anymore. Men, having tried, have finally concluded that compliance is optional, and disengagement is preferable to never-ending confrontation. If the alternative is constant moral scrutiny, perpetual accusation, and a relentless campaign to reshape reality to fit an ideology we have not consented to, then yes, we'll step aside. Yes, we'll opt out. Not with fanfare, not with banners, but with quiet, almost imperceptible withdrawal. Of course, this retreat is not without consequences. The world continues spinning, increasingly shaped by the forces that refuse to engage. Policies, culture, even the language we use, shaped by people who see us as relics, as failed participants in a social experiment we never signed up for. Sometimes we catch glimpses of it in the media, articles about men resisting privilege, men being educated on the proper way to exist in the modern world, men being reduced to caricatures so ludicrous you have to wonder if the authors have ever met a man at all. And we shrug, because what else is left to do? Yet, in retreat, there is a peculiar satisfaction, a certain pride in choosing our own path, in refusing to be pawns in someone else's ideological chess game. We are free to do as we wish, to pursue our interests, to fail quietly and without consequence, to enjoy the small, unnoticed pleasures of existence. There is dignity in withdrawal. There is liberation in stepping aside. Men tried, and in trying we discovered the futility of trying to argue with mental disorder. So we stopped. And in stopping, we found freedom. Not freedom from women, not freedom from society, but freedom from the endless, exhausting expectation to perform, explain, apologize, and reform endlessly for crimes we never committed. There is a strange beauty in this defeat. It is quiet, it is unnoticed, it is ours. And so we remain, sipping our beverages, tinkering with our gadgets, watching the world march on, and occasionally, very occasionally, smiling at the exquisite absurdity of a species so dedicated to progress that it forgot the humans in the process.